right, everyone. Good afternoon. How are y'all doing? Louder? I'm already too loud. First of all, I have a couple of questions for the crowd. When you go travel somewhere and you're visiting, I don't know, maybe you're planning this whole state or this whole national park, or you're focusing on this area you're traveling. And then you go to the next stop. Or for me, I travel part-time. I go back home. And then I sit down with my friends and we're having a conversation. Oh, where were you on vacation? Because, yeah, I'm not doing this full time yet. And, oh, I went to Colorado. Have you been to this main place you should have seen? Oh, where's that? It was right next where I was traveling. Who here has missed a spot like that? All right, keep that hand up. Keep that hand up. We're going to do a little game. Now, next question. You're traveling with your van and you notice you're running out of gas. Who here? Okay, this is an extra question. Do you push on emergency tank? Oh, just me? Okay, lesson learned. But keep the hand up if you missed a spot before. And I'll put another hand up if you're going low on gas and now you notice that the area you're driving is twice the price of what you noticed about 20 or 10 miles before. All right, now shake those hands goodbye to those problems because this workshop is here today to guarantee or to at least help you out not having those problems before. Well, who's ready for that? Okay. All right. I don't know about you, but I have FOMO. Not FOMO. I have FOMO. FOMO, fear of missing out on AdVANtures. So I plan my trips and I travel solo. Any other solo travelers in here? Yeah, there's no other person to look for us in an app where to go next or where to sleep or whatever that is. So I need to plan everything to feel safe and feel confident on what I'm doing. So bear with me if you think this plan is crazy and too much, but take whatever is helpful for you. And if you travel solo, I think this will help you a lot. To start, my name is Selena. You can call me Celi. I'm from the channel Let's AdVANture. I have stickers for all of you at the end of this so you can come see me because I know you all love that. And I travel solo in a rented camper van. I am also, you can notice in this accent right here, I am not from the United States. I came from Brazil. I have here my beautiful third grader PowerPoint presentation. So I came from Brazil with literally 2 luggages in my hand and one dream, to work for the mouse. If you don't know who the mouse is, it's Walt Disney World in Florida. I landed in Florida about 20 years ago, and I've been working for the mouse for 15 of those 20. So all those years have definitely not been all flowers and beautiful travels. It has been a lot of ups and downs and things that we all go through in life that completely change our lives. And for me, about 12 years ago, I thought I was happily married and I ended up in a divorce. I was 29 years old at the time. Shocking, I'm not 29 right now. I was 29 years old at the time, and I felt like I was the biggest shame of the family, the biggest failure of my life. For women, when you're turning 30, there's a clock in your body, and I always dreamt of being a mother and having a family. So for me, it was very devastating, shameful, and I thought it was the end of my life. I'm turning 30, and I don't have time to meet someone and create a family. I had the whole desperation in my mind. But I didn't know, little did I know, that was my ticket to independence and to the best life I've been living since then. And when I first got divorced, sorry, little detour here on our purpose, but what I want to share is all my previous relationships were long relationships, so I have always had someone with me. And when I got divorced, it was my first time being single because I started dating when I was very younger. I told you I'm from Brazil. And I did not know what to do with myself. Like, how Okay, no one wanna go for dinner, then I'll stay home. No one wanna go out dancing, then I'll stay home. And quickly I realized I was gonna miss out in life if I didn't learn and push myself out there to do things solo. And I wanna encourage all of you here, all my married friends, all my solo friends, to do things solo because you will discover someone new that you don't know it's inside there. It's pretty amazing. So in all these years, I started by pushing myself to a dinner on my own, then to the movies on my own. Yes, I went to a dancing country line bar on my own, end up with a bunch of friends. And then I started doing solo traveling. This was my very first remarkable solo travel. I I went solo in a tiny house in Sarasota, and I thought that was the coolest thing. So then the tiny living got a bug on me. Before that, I actually, hold on. Before that, I actually did several travels solo, but I don't count them because as I immigrated from Brazil to the United States, my cousins immigrated to Spain and to Portugal. So I traveled solo to meet them across the country. And although I did things alone, I don't consider that traveling solo, but that did help me get started. So I first started solo traveling internationally, but for me that was nothing because I came to the US by myself, right? And then I had friends that lived in London, so I went by myself. Then I had friends who lived in France, and I went by myself. In South America, and then I was like, this is it. I love doing this thing. So this is how I found my freedom and start traveling solo. And I'm counting right now 15 countries, 20 states in the United States. And tomorrow is going to be my 14th national park. And yes, I intend to cross all of them out of my list. So yeah, I do like to collect those numbers, but raise your hands if you collect magnets from your trips. All right, stickers or postcards or maps. We all collect things. But after this workshop, I want you all to start collecting the incredible experiences you're not gonna miss in your travels anymore. So welcome to Let's Adventure Assemble, because we're gonna assemble an 8-step plan. I didn't even know I had this plan before until I was in my first camper van trip. And listen to this. Guess the place. In Maui, Hawaii. I started my travel like right here, right? The bar right here. And it was absolutely amazing. And I planned the hell out of that trip using the system I'm sharing with you all. There was not a system back then, but I knew that it needed to become a system because that is the season #1 in my channel. And after all the friends I made in Hawaii, locals, they all watched the channel and they messaged me, Selena, what Hawaii is that you went, that I was born here and I don't know half of those places you're showing in your videos? So that I knew how to scout places and find unique things. Then I did a season in Texas. Then I did a season in Utah, a season in Florida Keys. And you can look, I'm not lying, in the comments of all those videos in those seasons, locals are coming to tell me the same thing. How did you know this place? I didn't know it existed. It's in my town. This is so awesome. So this is what you all diving into. So let's jump right in. So step #1, again, this is not something that you're gonna accomplish in one day. This is something that you're gonna start living this way and collecting this information. So the way I find all these unique places is we all scroll in social media, right? I love watching adventures. Oh, there's skydiving here. Oh, there's a jump cliff in Moab. Oh, look at this thing. Every time I see something that interests me on Instagram, so my scrolling is not dumb scrolling, it's research. I save that place. I create a folder in Instagram with the name of that state. So that place was in Moab, I put in Utah. That place was here, I put in Colorado. And it doesn't mean I'm planning a trip to that place. I'm just collecting the information as I see, because later you won't remember those locations. So start doing that. On your Facebook, you can create folders. On your Instagram, you can create folders. On your YouTube, you can create folders. And just start collecting when you watch and seeing, oh, a fun restaurant, an interesting adventure. Oh, look at this garden. Look at this little thing. Because people will post all kinds of big and little things that you will not know when you're doing the research for your trip. And that's where most of my hidden gems came from. Most, not all. The most amazing hidden gems is my tip number two to collect stuff. It's very simple. I have a notes on my iPhone. You can put a notes on your Android, whatever it is that you like using. And it's called Travels. So I create a folder called Travels, and each note will have a name of the state. So let's say here we have a conversation when we're walking down, looking at the vendors, and I'm like, oh, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Oklahoma. Oh, I plan to stop on all 50 states, and I'm like, I have no clue what to do in Oklahoma. What is cool to do in there? Oh, I'm local, and there is this very secluded place you should go. Like, you should not leave Oklahoma if you don't go here. So I start saving those locations in my notes. And traveling solo, you have so many conversations with so many people. And if you're not traveling solo, open up to talk to other people around you instead of just having your own conversations. Because that's how you discover people from other places and so many unique tips that only those locals will have for you. And again, will you remember those? No, you won't. So put it on that folder on your phone and just leave it there. So now you're accumulating on social media, you're accumulating on your notes. And then my last thing, I have a lot of friends that use Google Maps for traveling. If you don't yet, I guess after this workshop you may. I am not sponsored by Google Maps at all. Um, People will share with me pins because it was not a restaurant, it was not a park, it's not a public displayed location. So they will share with me a pin, especially in Hawaii. There was some amazing hikes I did that you wouldn't know where to get to the start of that trail. So the people that shared that with me shared the pin on Google Maps and was like, drive here, you're gonna see a pink house. Thank goodness they did not paint the house. And then you're gonna see a trail starting right behind the house. And yes, I did that at night to see the sunrise. Thank goodness I found the pink house. So, three ways for you to accumulate those resources: your social media, create a notes, and start collecting pins from your friends when you're talking about trips. Now you're creating your database, right? Your own private database of secret spots. We're going to step number two. You ready? Now we're fully talking Google Maps. Now you wanna pin it out. So now I am planning my trip to Colorado. What am I gonna do? Yes, I remember some places I was told. I'm talking to my friends of where they're going. I know I wanna hit the Sand Dunes National Park. I know I'm gonna drive through Colorado Springs. I'm gonna go there. But you guys won't imagine what I did here because of the system. I did not remember this at all. So when I'm planning my travels is when I go back to all those folders. I open my Instagram and check, did I save anything for Colorado? I open my Facebook, I open my YouTube, I open my notes, and I open my Google Maps and see if I already have anything saved. So now I start dumping down. I create one list. So for here I created Colorado PLV. So I created that list and start saving those pins on that list. And when I went on my Instagram, I had a video of two girls coming to walk wolves in the Garden of Gods in Colorado Springs. And I was like, no way. Like, I always wanted to meet wolves. I know, crazy, crazy stuff. But I was like, it's in this trip. I can make it happen in this trip. So I instantly went on that information, called those ladies, and I found that one date on my trip from Denver to here, PLV, that she could put me on a walk with wolves in the Garden of Gods in Colorado Springs. So that was my adventure before coming here. I walked two beautiful, large wolves through the garden, and we sat down on this rock and we howled together. It was super cool. So an experience like very unique, right? Would anyone tell you? I didn't even remember it was here. So when I looked on that folder is when I found. So because of that, I was able to live this incredible experience. I know it was in my dream list, and I was gonna miss if I just planned my trip with what I knew versus looking back on my folders. So not only one, create your resources, but you use them so you don't forget things you saved in there that you wanted to do. Whoop. All right, I have more stories for number 3 as well. So number 3 is be curious when you're looking at the map. You put your pins on Google Maps, right? Now be nosy. Zoom in. Zoom in and see what things pop your attention. Like you see this crazy name, oh, let me see what this is. A lot of times there's a website you can click, or what I do, I go on YouTube and see if there's a video about it, or I just pop the name of that place in Instagram and see if there are like some images of the experience that I can see. But something really unique I experienced in Hawaii, and that's one of the places that even the locals told me they did not know. When I was planning for that trip, I zoomed in and I saw mermaid caves. I'm like, wait, what? What is a mermaid cave? I couldn't find much information, and then I started digging on Instagram and I found a photo of these people jumping through a hole on a cliff that you will get to the ocean water down there. And I was like, wow. So then I start looking YouTube videos, and they're like, do not do this jump. It's a deadly jump. You do it if you're a tourist. It's only for locals. They know what they're doing. Do not do this, yada, yada. Being Selena, I looked exactly where it was, and it was a hike on a beach right next to the hotel I was staying in Aulani in Maui. No, not in Maui, lying, Oahu. And I took one day and I was like, I just need to find. I just need to see the whole, and maybe I'll do, maybe I'll not, but I'll respect and I will not do it if it's that dangerous. And as I'm walking on this hike on the beach, unfortunately, several crosses reminding like, don't do this. So I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do this. Okay, I'm gonna be respectful of the nature. I'm just gonna look. Yeah, so I got there, and then there are people jumping on the hole. So I heard you had to go on low tide. I got all the tips like from the videos I watched. And I got there, and there were two locals doing the jump. And they looked at me and they were like, do you want to try? We will teach you how to do it. I'm like, sure, how do you do this thing? So they're like, okay, look at the hole. You cannot jump too far so you don't hit your face on the other side of the rock. But also, don't go too low and be afraid because you're going to hit that rock that is under the water down there. Okay, what's the next tip? Well, you need to wait for the wave to come in. Then you jump. Then you're going to hit the bottom of the ocean right there. Then the wave will come back. And then you need to come up and swim really quick and climb the rocks on the other side before the next wave come in. Guys, I did it. I did it. I did it once, and of course I had to do it twice for the gram. And when I jumped the second time for the gram, I come out and I went to look what time was it, and where's my Apple Watch? So I joked that the mermaids in Hawaii sing, I got gadgets and gizmos and Selena's watch. So yeah, again, this is a way that you're gonna find unique spots to go visit. So we're up to step number 4, and I brought you my very unique preparation for coming to Colorado. So my step number 4 is estimate time. And I'm talking from experience because Selena here wants to do again. I don't have the luxury like most of you. You are traveling slow, going from one place to another. That's what you do. I have that 1 week vacation from my crazy mouse job. And then I get there and I want to do the 25 items I found on my lists in 7 days. And that is how I create content for 3 months in my YouTube for a 1 week vacation. For those who watch and always wonder. So one thing is you might see, oh, there's this national park and there's this museum and then there is this bar that is super cool. It's all close, so I can do it all in one day. Well, no. Also, the advantage of planning this way is when you're putting all those pins on the map, especially, that's when I realized that this was a good system. was when I did it in Oahu, because it's an island, and there's a lot of traffic for crossing the island from one side to another. So this one day I was like, oh, maybe I'll do this center over here this day, this hike on the volcano. And then I realized they were in opposite sides of the island. So I was like, wait a minute, let me populate all the pins on Google Maps, and I'll explore the south shore on day one, the southeast on day two. I'm gonna go skydive on the north and do this hike. I think that's a lot for one day. I'm gonna keep it like that. So this way, I would cross the island in the morning, do everything on that side, and then come back to my hotel. So for van life, that works perfectly, because if you were here for Steve and Audra's workshop, they were also saying the same thing. Plan your route for efficiency. So this not only gives you efficiency, but not that I missed something that was back in there. But back on the time that we were talking about, what I want to share is, now that I know the places I want to go, I kind of write them down and I research how long should it take for me to visit this museum? How long should I separate if I want to do this trail in this national park? So now I'm having an idea that what I thought stopping in a national park for 5 hours was plenty of time, but actually 4 hours is one of the 3 trails I want to hike. So this way you know exactly what you're fitting in a day, and you're not frustrated that, oh, I thought I could do all of this and now I cannot. So if you travel in a short time, or you're passing somewhere through a short time like me, you can plan like this and you can know exactly how long you're gonna spend in each place. Also, some of them requires you to book. And I'll encourage you to look in those national parks, because I have done some amazing hikes. Arches National Park, I found a ranger guided tour to the Fury Furnace hike. It's so much fun to do, but you cannot get to the place alone because you will get lost. So, me traveling solo, I found this ranger tour free, and it was one of the most amazing experiences I had in Utah. Also, um, some of the other hikes were also incredible, but you had to book in advance. Wasn't I looking that far in advance, I would not have a chance to be in that tour. So look in advance, book those main things that you want to do, like my wolves, my walking with the wolves. If I haven't looked or booked, I wouldn't have been able to do it. So also keep that in mind when you're planning your itinerary. Number 5, I think a lot of you will go against me, but I'll explain. You are not traveling solo. When you're traveling solo, you need to plan your sleep. Otherwise, you're pulling over somewhere dark, still trying to figure out where you're gonna go sleep. And that is the most nerve wracking thing for solo travelers, especially female solo travelers, because we're also there in some other kind of fears of where we're choosing to sleep. So I say, don't ever plan and find one spot. If you're paying for a camping spot in a national park, in a camping site, yes, that's fine. Plan that one spot, you already paid, you secured it. But if you are boondocking and finding a place to sleep, you need to find 3. Because you might get to your spot number A, and it was perfectly fine. I look on iOverlander, that's one of the tools I use, and it had like 5 reviews, and they were recent, and everything looked good. But I get there, and my gut, crazy, tells me, don't stay here. This is creepy. Your gut tells you no, you move to the next spot. So you're not forced to stay there. Or you get to the location, and there's a big no authorized parking overnight here anymore. So now your chances of getting the knock on your door is a lot higher than before. So now you have a spot B that you have already planned. You're right, okay, I'm gonna move to the next spot. That happened to me in Utah. I found a BLM campsite, and I arrived there, and it was just me on the spot, and there was like this industry or like something right behind me making loud noise, and it was very creepy. And it was already very creepy with the sun going down, and I was like, I don't want to wait until it gets dark to realize I do not want to stay here. It was a little off-roading to get to that spot, so I did not want to drive out there in the dark with the deadly cliffs that were in the spot. So I moved to my location B. But you might get to your location B and you're sleeping very comfortably, like me in the Florida Keys when I went to my location B. And then I got the knock on my door at 3:15 a.m. And the cops were like, "Ma'am, do you know you're not supposed to be here? There's an ordinance in the Florida Keys that you cannot do this." I was like, "I'm so sorry, I didn't know, I played dumb." And he's like, "Yeah, you're gonna have to move out of here." So have I not already had my plan C? Now I would be at 3:15 in the morning. Again, I don't have someone on the next seat to look for me while I'm driving. I have to look and then go, and that can take, you all know when you look for spots, it can take a long time. I was gonna lose my entire sleep. So I knew exactly where to go. It was a little store, it was a Lowe's store that I had slept on my way to the Keys that I was down south. So I was like, I'm gonna go back to that Lowe's because I slept good there. And I went back to Lowe's and I had a great night of sleep. So sometimes you use all those three resources. And I'll tell you, it's really good to have that because you have the freedom to arrive in that first spot and be like, I don't feel settled here, but I know exactly where to go. And you still have that peace of mind. If something goes wrong, I have a next one. I'm not crazy to have a fourth and a fifth and a sixth, but at least three, y'all, because those things are very common to happen to you. And now you can pin those sleeping spots in your Google Maps together with all those plans that you are planning to do. So, step number 6 is to block it out. So, this again, I told you, you don't have to take all these steps from me, but this is something I really like doing because all that time I saw this hike is 4 hours. But driving from sand dunes to the next spot is 3 hours. If you don't account for that, now you think you can fit another 6 hour adventure on your day. You cannot. I've done that before. And so I like to block it out and I kind of color code. I use Google Maps and I put, so everything you see in purple is like of activities I'm doing, and what you see in green are my drives from one location to another. Calendar, yeah. Sorry, what did I say? Maps, sorry, Google Calendar, yes, clearly. And when I plan my drives, something that is really cool with Google Calendar is that I can put the Google Maps direction of the place, either the address or some locations we get those weird numbers for the pin. You can drop that in there too. And my calendar, when it's time for me to drive, so if I know if I want to accomplish all those crazy activities I plan for the day, my alarm goes off 15 minutes I know I need to drive, and it tells me exactly. I can click on the location and it opens up in Google Maps and I'm already on the road driving. But again, I have the plan. Doesn't mean I'm forced to stick to it. Let's say I met the most amazing people here at Peace, Love, and Vans, and we're all having a good time, and my alarm goes off and like, sand dunes time. I'm like, next time, baby, next PLV, because I'm having a good time here with these people. But now I have the tools to make those decisions. Do you see where I'm going with this? If you don't have a plan, now you don't know. Like, am I gonna miss that? Or I don't know. With my FOMO, I need this plan to be able to make those decisions. Now, step number 7, and this is where I start diving in more in those things, because now that you put all those pins on your Google Maps and you know how long is the drive from one place to another, it's also good to know, again, especially for me, because I travel part time, so I need to get my rental van and then I need to load with groceries. And then what is kind of cool, because many times I've been in those situations we discussed in the beginning of this presentation, that you are out of gas, and now gas in this gas station is like $15, and the one 10 miles ago was 5. Like it can be, especially in Utah, I experienced that a lot. And I guess Utah traumatized me, and I came up with this. So now, once I have all my pins on the map and I know where I'm gonna be going, I start looking, okay, I'm gonna be driving 300 miles this day. This is probably what the van can handle. So at the end of the trip, I'm gonna be needing to look for a gas station. What are the options here? Oh, they're all $15, but 5 miles before is $5. So I can pin that gas station and remember that I need to stop there for gas. I also pin water stations, I pin dump stations, and I always look for a Ray store to buy bear spray. And of course, Walmart, because either for sleep emergencies or for your groceries. So I adding all those pins and having that all ready for you is so helpful. And the most helpful part is the last step of this plan, which I know a lot of you don't do it. And this literally is a make it or break it of your whole plan that we have just discussed. Download your Google Maps because we know that we're gonna get out a cell phone signal and now you cannot get to any of those places you pinned on your phone. So right before my trip or right before you move from a state to another, just for giggles, zoom in on that state you're going and hit. If y'all need any tips on how to do these things on Google Maps, I'll be hanging out after the workshop and I'm happy to share because this is a free tool that has been so helpful for me. And for example, I was only able to make it to PLV because I downloaded the Colorado maps because I heard Josh saying several times that the signal here was spotty and I lost signal on the whole drive when it got close to here. So it automatically went on the map that I had downloaded on my phone. And guess what? All those pins of all these places and gas stations and sleeping spots stays with your downloaded map. So you don't lose that. The only thing is when you use Google Maps to drive places, it does the little direction of where you're going, right? And you follow that. I don't know if you ever use the offline version. The offline version doesn't give you the driving directions, but still gives you the whole map and all your turns and all the places that you need to go. So this is how I have been able to cram in all the when I take vacation for work, it's like seven days or 12 days going somewhere. And I literally explored the entire place on my route without having to zigzag because I looked all of that before. So if you want to accomplish seeing more things, if you want to save that the tips I gave in the beginning on how to find these incredible locations that you will forget about, save those folders on your social media, on your notes, pins that you can share with friends. You can even, when you pin all of this on your map, you can share the whole map with your friends. And you can either allow them to add pins. So cool thing, you all can create your own iOverlander with your community. Share a map. Let's say y'all traveling through Colorado. So I have my little crew here spread out. So Audra will sleep in this location and she'll be like, save this pin for our little group there. Then Paul is traveling to another location and he's like, hey guys, I slept here. It was super peaceful. Stay here. So now next time when I'm come to Colorado, I have those pins saved from them with people I know and trust that they slept in their location. So there's so many opportunities to do with these free apps we have out there, create our own communities. Make sure you take advantage of that. And yes, call me crazy. I am a planner. I detail plan everything, but I'll finish this with a story. My friends know I'm a planner and they love traveling with me because they know they're gonna have the time of their lives. But they're like, Selena, have you ever tried to be spontaneous? I'm like, what's that? Talking, yes, I can be very spontaneous. Planning something like a trip, that gives me anxiety. So I was like, yeah, you know what? You're right. Let me try to do that. So I have this trip to visit my cousin in Spain. I had never been to Spain. I knew so many things I wanted to do. I wanted to go salsa. I wanted to see flamenco. I wanted to go to shows. I wanted to see the Gaudi and like all the local stuff. I knew the stuff I wanted to do. So I was like, I'm going to try traveling without a plan. And so I went. And I got to the hotel the first day before getting to her town. And then I woke up next morning and I was like, what the hell do I do? Where do I go? And then I spent another hour or two sitting in the bed of my hotel. I wasted those 2 hours that I could be doing something, looking for what to do. And I was desperate. I was gonna miss the best place that was right next to me and I didn't know. It was just a horrible experience for me and I never again travel without a plan. The thing of having a plan is, again, stick to it or free yourself from it, but you can make those choices. Again, do I really want to go to sand dunes tomorrow, or do I want to go somewhere else that my friends are going, or do I need to sleep because I haven't slept the past 3 days? Some of you know me. I ran this entire festival just filming almost without sleeping. So sometimes I am exhausted and I'm like, you know what? I cannot do this 4 hour hike after not sleeping. And I decide to cancel that. But I know I'm making that choice. I know exactly what I'm losing. So I hope that all these tips helped you out today with this story. And one incredible thing that I discovered in this festival, again, this community here is absolutely amazing. I came to PLV, Florida last year. No, so no, it wasn't last year. It was March. I came to PLV, Florida by myself. I did not know anybody. And that's how I kind of travel, right? When I travel solo. But get to a festival like this by yourself can be a little intimidating. And it was the first time I did a festival solo, so I was really nervous. And I walked out of there with family friends forever. And we are meeting again here in this PLV, and then I met some other people in this festival. And this is the most incredible community I have ever experienced. So I want to thank you all for what each individual here provides to each other. Continue to do that. Share your travel tips to each other. Share those notes. And one of the people I met here in the festival, with all these crazy tools that I share, I use to plan my travels, this guy approached me and he shared this app he has just created. It's called Grover. Yes. So it is called Grover, and he has not only a lot of the things that I do in there, but also what was really unique for me is you can, when you create your profile on Grover, you have, you put, you introduce your van to Grover. I drive a Ford Transit 350 high roof, not 4x4, but it has this much clearance. You put that information about your vehicle there. And now when you're planning your travels and it's telling you like you're going through BLM land and you're traveling a little bit off road, it will tell you, it will flag, don't drive through this road because you need this much clearance and your vehicle has this much clearance. Or you're going up a mountain and it will say, change your feature of your vehicle to this number because this will help you going up that mountain. It is incredible. And you can see, you can zoom in the map. The map is 3D, so you can see, the height of the places you're gonna be driving. So what I'm gonna do is I have a QR code in my iPad here. If you're interested in checking the app out, come see me because not only it has many capabilities beyond what I'm telling you, it has an AI integrated system. And let's say your van is malfunctioning, the AC is turning on and off, and everything else in your system looks fine. You can go there in the AI system, and because you train on what you have in your van, it will be, oh, for this brand that you have of AC and this brand you have of batteries, you should troubleshoot this, this, and this. I was like, it was mind blowing. It's such an amazing tool. And on top of all of that, you can create a community. So now all these places I pin in a map and I go and I sleep, it's a blend of iOverlander with Google Maps, everything that I do and now you do and you put in there. Everyone that joins my Let's Adventure community, we're gonna share with each other all those locations. So you find my Walk with Wolves experience or jump in a mermaid caves. Do I recommend? No, but it's gonna be there. So this way we can all stay in touch. They continue to develop this app. So it was really cool to meet them, and I figure I would share what I learned with them with you all. So I have the QR code for you all to join. I'm launching my own community in the app in this workshop with you all. So if y'all want to help grow that library of places to go, places to sleep, places for us to be safe and find each other, again, please come see me at the end. Thank you all so much for listening to all these travel tips. And do we have any questions? Yes, please. Yes, the question is, do I have a YouTube? And I don't know why I forgot to say this. Of course I do. It is Let's Adventure, but because it's misspelled, right? Because of the van, You're gonna find a little boy that has the regular Let's Adventure when you search. So come see me at the end of the workshop. I have stickers for all of you with the QR code that takes you directly to the YouTube channel. I would love to have you all there. I share all these tips, all the stories I shared with you today are in there so you can watch them. And I'm about to build my own camper van. So you can watch me going through that crazy too, because after all these experiences, I'm hooked. Like the tiny home in Sarasota, got my foot in. Then Maui, Hawaii, got both foots in. And the moment everything changed is in camera in the Utah season. I'm driving up Arches National Park. And mind you, remember I said I started in Hawaii, like the bar right here. I'm like, what am I doing? Now I cannot take the vans anywhere. Stupid me. When I went to my Utah trip, I'm driving through, I don't know, who many of you have seen Arches National Park here? Okay, you understand what I'm saying. And the other one of you, if you don't plan a trip to Arches after I share this, I don't know. I was driving up that first drive that you go to the Delicate Arch and just passing through all those insanely beautiful rock formations. And I had my 360 camera on the dash filming everything. So I caught this moment because I'm literally with the steering wheel like this. And tears start like dropping down my eyes. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm crying for rocks now? And I was like, holy cow. I really say all of this. Holy cow. I think this is the moment I'm going to do van life. This is it. So my plan is to initially go part-time because I still love and work my job at Disney. And I'll continue to take vacations and explore. So my initial plan is to buy my van around October. I'm very settled on a Ford Transit. Any Ford Transitors over here? Okay. And I'm gonna build from the ground up with these two hands right here. I'm gonna try to do fully electrical, plumbing, and I'm sharing my entire experience and the knowledge I'm gaining along the way. I've been doing a lot of research and sharing that there too. And in between, because day one, when I picked that empty van off the lot, I'm gonna put an air mattress, a pull-up toilet, and just start traveling and exploring Florida and just the East Coast that is close to me first before I start diving in. And eventually, the couple that inspired me to van life, they're from Brazil. I knew nothing about YouTube and van life, and my sister watched them, and they give amazing travel tips on their channel. Get Outside, Ale and Duda, shout out to you. And they inspired me through the van travel. They did a travel from Brazil to Alaska and back. And when they were passing through Florida, I reached out because why not? I was like, they are mostly going to ignore, but I'm going to try. I'm not losing anything. Hey, you guys, I follow you, blah, blah, blah. Would love to meet you. And they reply, hey, we looked your stuff. You look very cool. We like your vibes. We would love to meet you. Okay, you can bring your van by my house. You can sleep right here. I'll cook some fun stuff for you guys. And they came over. Wow. And we sat down, and that conversation really changed my life. I'm like, I really want to try this. And I was planning originally that trip to Maui, Hawaii. And I was like, let me see if I find a camper van. And I start researching on website and instantly found one. I'm like, it's a sign. So I ended up renting the camper van, and that is why that was my first trip, and that's how I ended up here. So also inspired by them and being international, right, being from another country, I eventually want to ship my van and explore Europe and then ship my van to South America and bring to show it to all my friends and travel South America. So if you're interested in international traveling, especially to South America, because it's good to have someone, right, that speaks the language and know where the dangers are. That's something I'm really looking forward to in the future. Build a caravan of people and go through South America and do something like this together. So hopefully that's something we all get to experience together. Any other questions before we wrap it up? Yes, back in there.
I just have a comment because you were talking about the app.
Yes, your comment. Yes, go ahead.
I wanted to share it with you, but I think everybody here would.
Please share. I'll say in the microphone so everyone gets it.
It's called Guide Along.
Guide Along.
Guide Along.
Guide Along app.
And what it does is it's got like the national parks, Hawaii, Pacific Coast Highway, Route 66, East Coast. You can download these adventures, and it's tracking because tracking where you're going, and after you get to certain parts, voice will come on and tell you about the community, the history, what you're looking
Oh,
for.
how cool!
It's like you're in one of those
Repeat the name of the app again.
guide along.
Guide along. So this is very similar to Shaka Guide I used in Hawaii. So he's saying it's an app that tracks where you are traveling through, and it turns on a voice that will tell you a story of these places that you are driving through. In Maui, that van trip that I did in Maui, I used Shaka Guide. Shaka Guide in any island of Hawaii is amazing, and it does this. You're traveling through, actually, I went cliff jumping because this app was like, park right here on the side of the road, look for a cow gate, jump the cow gate. All right, walk this many steps, go under the tree. Literally, the app was walking me through, and I found this amazing cliff jumping. So, disclaimer, when I share these crazy stories about Hawaii, if you do go, please know you really need to be attentive to weather there, because they have, like, the rain comes and then they have the, how do you call when the water just flood. Flood is a huge danger there, and this cliff jump I did is very dangerous with flood. So be aware where you're traveling, looking for the dangers. I look for the animals you can encounter. That is why bear spray. I'm terrified about bears, guys. And yeah, so look in advance, take advantage of these apps that are out there that helps us enjoy our travels, and I hope to see you all out there. Thank you all so much.